I've been asked to read out a statement on behalf of the Duke of Sussex and Lord Watson. In a monumental victory today, News UK have admitted that The Sun, the flagship title for Rupert Murdoch's UK media empire, has indeed engaged in illegal practices. This represents a vindication for the hundreds of other claimants who were strong-armed into settling without being able to get to the truth of what was done to them. After endless resistance, denials, and legal battles by news group newspapers, including spending more than £1 billion in payouts and in legal costs, as well as paying off those in the know, in order to prevent the full picture from coming out, News UK is finally held to account for its illegal actions and its blatant disregard for the law.
Ladies and gentlemen, gather your tea, your biscuits, and maybe even a cheeky glass of wine, because today's story is hotter than a scone fresh out of the royal oven. We're diving into the latest scandal that's got Fleet Street panicking, Kensington Palace pacing, and Rupert Murdoch probably wishing he'd stuck to crossword puzzles instead of running a media empire. Yes, you heard that right. Prince Harry has just scored another monumental win in his ongoing battle against the British tabloids. And this time, the mighty Sun newspaper, Rupert Murdoch's prized possession, has admitted, finally, that they engaged in illegal practices. That's right, folks, the so-called bastions of journalism, the same ones who've made careers out of vilifying Harry and Meghan, have been caught red-handed. If irony had a crown, it would be perched firmly on Murdoch's head. Now, let's pause for a moment and really let this sink in. For years, these papers denied, deflected, and dodged accountability like it was an Olympic sport. They threw millions, billions even, at settlements, payoffs, and legal maneuvers designed to keep the truth buried. And yet, here we are. The truth has clawed its way to the surface, and Harry, with that signature quiet determination, is at the centre of this historic moment. Honestly, I can almost hear Meghan in Montecito right now, sipping her herbal tea and saying, "Told you so." And she deserves that moment because through all the lies, smears, and relentless harassment, she and Harry have stood firm. They've refused to be silenced. And now, vindication. But of course, not everyone is cheering. Over at Kensington Palace, I imagine Prince William is pacing so hard, he's wearing a groove into the palace carpets. Imagine the scene, the future king, clutching his tea so tightly it goes cold before he takes a sip, muttering, "Not again. Why can't Harry just behave?" Well, maybe because Harry isn't playing the royal game anymore. He's rewriting the rules, and William, bless him, is left watching his carefully polished public image wobble like jelly on fine china. Let's be honest, William has spent years cultivating this image of stability, stoicism, and royal authority. But with every win Harry achieves in court, that grip on the narrative loosens. It's like watching someone try to hold on to sand. It just keeps slipping away no matter how hard they clutch. And let's not forget King Charles in all of this. Where is he, you ask? Probably off somewhere painting another watercolour of roses, pretending this storm isn't brewing under his very nose. The man has mastered selective royal oblivion. Meanwhile, his heir is in meltdown mode. And Harry? Harry's out here in California, smiling, thriving, and doing what the royals couldn't, standing up to the most powerful media barons in the world. But here's where it gets really interesting. Rumours are swirling that Rupert Murdoch himself, yes, the kingpin of tabloid sensationalism, slid a settlement offer toward Harry. Can you picture it? The man who turned gossip into an empire suddenly trying to buy off the prince he spent years tormenting. That's not just irony, that's karma with a royal wave. And let's be real, this isn't about money for Harry. He's made it crystal clear. This fight is about principle. It's about accountability. It's about saying, you can't destroy people's lives for profit and walk away scot-free. And that, my friends, is why this story has the tabloids shaking in their boots. Because if Harry wins, if this case exposes the inner workings of the press machine, then suddenly the game changes. journalists might actually, brace yourselves, have to fact-check before publishing their wild insider stories. Shocking, I know. Imagine the chaos in those newsroom meetings. Instead of, how can we smear Meghan today? It'll be, wait, do we actually have evidence for this claim? Revolutionary. Fleet Street won't know what hit them. And of course, the tabloids are doing what they do best. Panicking and spinning. Expect to see headlines like Harry betrays the crown or Meghan's master plan revealed. Because when in doubt, they default to blaming Meghan. According to them, she's not just a duchess. She's apparently a 24/7 mastermind running a shadow government out of Montecito. Meanwhile, the actual truth is simple. Meghan's just being Meghan, supporting her husband, protecting her family, and occasionally serving looks so flawless that tabloids can't help but seethe. But here's the thing. The media doesn't want you to see. This isn't just Harry's fight. This is about every single person who's ever been bullied, smeared, or violated by unethical journalism. It's about accountability and Harry's willingness to put himself on the line to endure even more scrutiny shows the kind of courage that the royal family itself has never dared to show. And while Harry is taking on this mammoth task, let's talk about Meghan's role. She's been his rock through this entire ordeal. If Harry is David slinging stones at the media Goliath, then Meghan is the strategist standing beside him saying, "Aim higher, love." Honestly, if this were a chess game, Meghan would be the queen. Powerful, strategic, and always 3 moves ahead, while the tabloids are stuck playing checkers. Meanwhile, over in tabloid land, the panic is delicious. Editors are probably sweating through their tailored suits, clutching pearls and screaming at interns to find a royal insider, fast. But this time, the smear machine might not work, because when the courts are involved, gossip doesn't cut it. Facts do, and facts are the tabloid's worst nightmare. So, where does this leave us? With a royal showdown unlike anything we've seen before. Forget tiaras and balcony waves. This is about truth, justice, and the crumbling of a media empire that's thrived on lies for too long. If Harry pulls this off, it won't just be his victory. It will set a precedent that could change the British press forever. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see a future where Meghan isn't painted as the villain in every royal story, where Harry isn't dismissed as the spare, gone rogue, where the truth actually matters more than clickbait. Wouldn't that be something? But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because if there's one thing we know, it's that the tabloids won't go down without a fight. Expect more outrageous headlines, more pearl-clutching editorials, and more attempts to paint Harry as the problem. But here's the delicious twist. They've already admitted guilt. The truth is out, and no amount of spin can change that. So grab your popcorn, folks, because this isn't just a court case. This is history unfolding in real time. Prince Harry versus Rupert Murdoch. Truth versus spin. Accountability versus corruption. And if you ask me, Harry's holding the winning cards. Now, before we wrap up, let's take a moment to celebrate what Harry and Meghan truly represent. They embody courage, resilience, and the audacity to stand apart in a world that wanted them to stay silent. They are proof that greatness doesn't come from titles, palaces, or crowns. It comes from daring to challenge injustice, even when the odds are stacked against you. And if that's not worth cheering for, I don't know what is. So, if you're part of Team Sussex, like I am, don't just watch, be part of the movement. Hit that subscribe button, drop a comment below, because here on Sussexes Spotlight, we don't just spill tea, we serve it hot, fresh, and with a side of truth the tabloids can't handle. Until next time, stay bold, stay kind, and stay Team Harry and Meghan.